Is precisely the case. Guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Ready? 10-2 stop.
Here we go, D.
On first down. Downins call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. On second down, Minshew. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Minshew throwing on 3rd down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. He'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Off play action, it's Minshew. That's caught inside the 20. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Looking to throw it, Minshew. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 36 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Darnold. And this is caught by Watkins. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. He got 29 yards that time. A first down carry for Henry. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Darnold now to throw. He'll get this one into the hands of Lewis. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too. Now it's Darnold. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Who do you want? Who do you want? Who do you want?
Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Derrick Henry with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Watch that end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. 4 down. Check. 4 down.
From the gun, Minshew to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play. And the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together, but I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
Darnold on first down. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And some room to roam now. Dion Lewis. Touchdown, Vikings. Dion Lewis. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Let's go.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game. And typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
22 jet bombers. 22 jet bombers. Ready.
Throwing on 2nd down now, Minshew. He's going to run. And got his man complete. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Equanimous St. Brown with touchdown number 7 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Hopkins with the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
2nd and 6 at the 26.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go.
To throw is Darnold. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. That's fielded in the end zone.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it, let's keep going. It's almost like he knew they were going to make their run at him, and they have. As you said, let's see if they can regroup and get going again.
I can't believe they even let you play. Back, lady. Under 10, 10. 6-6, pull it.
On second down, here's Henry. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. There's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
That good for 22 and a first down. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 41. Now Lewis here on first down. Oh, and Lewis lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Throwing on first down is Minshew. And he will find his man on the outside. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his.
And, oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. Just been on loan for opposing offenses to account for now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Second down and 10, Darnold. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Darnold now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Darnold completes it, and he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there, first down Vikings.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Past the 20. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Derrick Henry. Becoming just the second player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And the lead is now 21-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
Let's go.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember...
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 3rd down, Dobbins. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. The 30, 10, touchdown, Chicago. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point good by Hopkins. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half.
Justin Hopkins set to kick off.
A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Here a throw taken in by Watkins. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The end result, 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Darnold, and he finds his tight end, Graham. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it in.
Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44.
You can easily see the logic. It's a tie game. They just wanted to press it a little bit right before the half, hoping to get one more score.
Now, easy to second-guess the result, but now you have to think after that interception, just a field goal, and they're behind at the break.
Yeah, I think at the half, the head coach just says, look, that's on me. I wanted to press it, but it's because I believe in you guys.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Switch. Hey, Wahoo!
Out of the gun is Minshew. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Equanimous St. Brown with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Hopkins with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Over the middle, he's got Watkins. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Darnold now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. Finds his tight end Ingram. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Darnold now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Young lady. Watch the curl.
Darnold to throw again. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Now Zane Gonzalez for the field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, it's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creep.
A second down run with Lewis. Space to maneuver at the 40. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
12 yards there. First down, Vikings. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
Watch the whip.
And they'll try the air now with Darnold. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Check 43. Check.
On 2nd down now, it's Henry. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fix and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Brings up 4th down and 1.
The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. They'll run. It's Henry. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Tyrell Williams, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that gives him a 3-point lead.
Bears 28.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. On 2nd and 7, Minshew steps away to his left. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. That one a first down pickup of 8.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Crunch time, defense.
They'll keep it on the ground. Dobbins. They'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Let's go. 50, plant. Hey, foxtrot.
On 3rd down, Dobbins. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. He needed a yard. That's what he got. And it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
And the Bears first down.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10.
Push him back. Fire.
Now Minshew on 1st and 10. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Trip. You got 3. Rock it. Out.
On 2nd and 10, it's Minshew. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And that last penalty makes this 3rd down play a little more interesting. 3rd and 5.
Hey, exit. 24 is the mic.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it.
Minshew, 1st and 10. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Exit. Kill. Smoke.
Again, Minshew looking to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Justin Houston, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
I'm going back to you.
So 3rd and long, here's Minshew. Now they go screen, it's complete. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the 1st down. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And this game is tied again here in the 3rd. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Who that?
On 1st down, it's Darnold. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Watch the slant.
Now Darnold. Looking sideline, incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Darnold from the gun. And this is caught by Watkins. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down. Darnold now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Darnold. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Derrick Henry. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Check safety, check safety. Young lady. Show it up. Check 99. Young lady.
They keep it with Henry on first down. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From just shy of midfield, Darnold. It's Williams on the catch. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. And a busy night for Henry continues. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
They'll run it again with Henry. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
This is Henry. Down to about the 22 here.
This has been an up-and-down, back-and-forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive, take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Darnold now to throw. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all, and it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Evan Ingram, touchdown number 15 of the year. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and they will take a 7-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready?
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now a give, right side. Dobbins, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Slam, slam, slam. General West. Hey, high 7. Ready?
Here's Minshew. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Dobbins. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. On 4th down, Minshew. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Switch.
Throwing on first down is Minshew. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Minshew. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. I'm going to hit it.
From the gun, Minshew to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. This is caught inside the 15. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and goal with this game still hanging in the balance. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They'll keep it on the ground. Dobbins, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. A great play there with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season, as they can now tie the game with the extra point here in the final 2 minutes. Critical extra point up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter.
We got this.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that.
And this is going to be intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. They get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But
it's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Chicago. Equanimous St. Brown. 78 yards. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this fourth quarter. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Buying time to his left. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
He's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Watkins, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. A really nice knockdown. He gets so much pressure in these situations on defensive backs. What are they taught?
Play the ball, not the man, because if you have a pass interference penalty in this spot, boy, oh boy, you put your team in a bad place.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. He's back to throw. He's got his man. It's Williams. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Hey, Charlie.
Now Darnold. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds. 19 left. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Darnold. Moncrief brings it in. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 18. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. Darnold from the red zone now. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
Thrown to the sideline and incomplete. It's now 2nd and 10.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And his ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Obviously, the excitement level here is almost a fever pitch. Down 1 is tempted to go for 2. I say you go ahead and kick the extra point. You got the home crowd. Carry it into overtime.
I'm with you. I do see some fans, though, holding up 2 fingers. Easy now.
Yeah, but they're not the ones who have to actually make that call, are they?
Set to go now with the kickoff. These 2 teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside, or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
Let's see if they are in line with Charles Davis. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They'd like to avoid overtime here, so maybe they can work the sidelines, but then defensively, how do they adjust to that if they do work the sideline?
It's the old leverage game, and we usually talk about leverage at the line of scrimmage, right? Who's going to win with the low blocking and everything that goes along with that. But in this case, you're trying as a defender to leverage them towards the middle of the field, not let them get to the sidelines and try and tackle them inbounds in order to run the clock out.
Chess match here late. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Coming up on a 3rd and 9. Opening drive of overtime as they look to convert. Darnold, his first throw in overtime. Oh, so close but incomplete. Could have been a big turnover in overtime if he'd held on. Instead, though, it's 4th down. So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down. They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. And this is caught. That's Watkins. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A gigantic call there in overtime, but it pays off with a first down. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. Darnold completes it. A gain of 6 there on first.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A 20th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down.
55, my God, 55. Let's go.
The shotgun snap for Darnold. And Ingram hauls it in. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. What they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
You don't want none. 25. Lady. Check 25.
Again, it's Henry. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field.
Mike outside. 55. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. Hatch it. Red 80.
On 1st and 10, Darnold finds his tight end Ingram. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down. And you definitely could make the case we might not even be in overtime had he not thrown 3 interceptions in regulation. But looking better here so far in OT.
Yeah, and when you think about what a coach is thinking at that point, because normally you've thrown 3 picks during the game, you might craft your play calling to be a little more careful. Not in this case. The green light.
And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Vikings, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5. And they'll get a few days to savor this one before they take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Chicago, it's another week to forget as they're going to fall to 1-12 now on the year. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.